everyone. Right now we are going to talk about the reflective ceiling plan and the electrical plan. So first thing obviously you need to do with this particular drawing is create your title block. Remember, we want a great logo and you're going to put the information that's needed. So you already have that. Secondly, you're going to place an excellent drafting floor plan right on the title block over here to the left corner once again. And just like your other drawings, you're going to add in the things that you need. First thing we want is to put a beautiful title here. This will be RCP. And then scale. Remember, we always put the scale. Okay, scale. 1/4 inch equals 1/0. Okay, remember, we always label our drawings. Also, the north arrow. Want to see a nice north arrow? And remember, some of you flipped your drawings. Over here in the left-hand corner where the kitchen is, this is the north wall. So some of you flipped it. If you did that, you have to change your north arrow to reflect the arrow should be pointing towards the kitchen and the fireplace. That's the north wall. Like I said, if you flipped it, change your north arrow. Now, this is our reflective ceiling plan. And we are going to add in electrical as well, some of those electrical elements we talked about. So here is where you are going to create your legend. And so you want to make sure, and we don't know exactly how much space we need, but we want to make sure that we are able to put the word legend. This is for your electrical and your lighting symbols will go here. Normally, a legend will have the word legend on top, and it will have a little area, and you're going to do this with a straight edge, and this will, in your perfect, legend. Okay. These will be our symbols and an explanation of what it is. So you put the symbol and an explanation. I like to do a nice line in between to create kind of a grid. Now I can't fully fill this out till I know how many symbols I have, but that's where our legend's going to be. Now we are looking at our floor plan. You have your furniture plan, which is key because your furniture plan will dictate a lot of your fixtures. So first thing we talked about in the video is putting together some very specific outlets. Remember, an outlet looks like a circle with two lines, and it always plugs into a wall. That is an outlet. We need to add our GFIs, GFI outlets, ground fault interrupters. Those need to go, we need to put one over by the sink and one in the bathroom, in each bathroom. So how big are those little symbols? Well, I will tell you, you're going to use some of your templates. I personally like to use this one with the door swings. And there is a little round circle, and that circle says 8. This is for 8 inches. That's about 1/8 of an inch. And I like to use that. That is the perfect little symbol size. So let's say we decide to put our little symbol here. Perfect little symbol. Of course, I've got this thick two lines. That equals a little outlet. And then you put GFI in your perfect little architectural lettering. So now you have at least a GFI there. Then once again, you'll use your template and you will do another symbol, and we usually put it by the sink. Just think about your own bathroom, and you will have your little GFI here, GFI. This is not excellent thin lettering, but GFI. There's your GFIs, and that will be one of the symbols that we put here. Next, we want to walk through the space. You always walk through the space to decide, where do I need my lighting, especially my ambient lighting or general lighting. This is going to be your design. So as you look at your floor plan, I strongly recommend you put it underneath your reflective ceiling plan. So let's say you have a sofa here, okay? And you have some end tables. And you have like a little lighting fixture here and here, okay? So We are looking at some of these different various, now let's, location, let's say you have some art here and a TV here. Okay, let's just say, and a dining table here. So based on your space plan, you need to start placing your electrical and lighting outlets. So also, let's say you have your king size bed, your nightstands here, okay, maybe a dresser, and you're going to have some lighting fixtures here. And we're going to look through this various, there might be another little dresser here. And as you walk through, maybe you have some bunk beds, a desk, okay, and a dresser, okay? So you've decided to put your furniture in. I want you to physically walk through the space and decide, where would I want lighting? We always love to walk in the entry of a space. Just like in your last house, you might say, I would like a little downlight. So once again, I would take a little circle, and maybe on this instance, maybe a 10-incher, a little 10-inch circle, and make that a 10 or 8, and just make that a little downlight. So as you start placing some of these lights, you have to think about the switches that turn them on. So when I walk in, maybe I have a nice downlight, and so I have to add my switch, right? Now make sure that you add your switch. So when you walk in, maybe it's on this wall, but a switch is like a $, but it always connects to a wall. See that? You don't put the switch this way and this way. Okay? They connect. They always connect to the wall. So that's really important when you're putting in your switches. Okay? So as you go through this, you're going to say, okay, I walk in this house and I turn on this little light. Remember our little dotted line, that little circuit line? That shows where that goes. Now, maybe when I come over here, maybe there's 2 lights just right when I walk in. And they connect. But maybe when I get over here, because I'm going down the hall, I want to turn it off. So therefore, 2 switches. Lighting, that is a 3-way switch. So you would put a little 3 here. Okay, so this is what you need to start thinking about doing as you walk through every space. Now I'm able to walk in, turn off my lights. Now, what about when I walk into my kitchen? What do I want to see? Well, let me tell you what we want to do with this kitchen. The thickness of the refrigerator to the thickness of the counter, you are going to create a soffit on your RCP. It's just going to look like that, okay? So on your RCP, that area is, remember we have ceiling heights? So here, this whole ceiling, we're going to make the whole ceiling, this is plus 8 feet, 0 inches, ceiling height, okay? But this is a foot soffit. So that means that ceiling height is different, and it's going to be 7 feet ceiling height. So on this, you write, you can do an arrow, but 7 foot, 0 inches. This tells me that that is a lowered area. And we want that, remember, like in the last elevations of the kitchen, we had a foot above it. That way, that cabinets can connect to a soffit above. So here, let's say we have some general lights right here, ambient lights, maybe some down lights. Maybe in this soffit, that you won't worry about lighting here. That's connected, to the above cabinetry. But this is gonna have some nice height difference. So we want to be able to turn those lights on, right? So you have a little switch that might go from each one. Okay, so here, maybe you don't need a 2-way switch or a 3-way switch, or you could choose to turn it off elsewhere. But normally it's a small kitchen, don't have a lot going on. Now you have those GFIs. You also may want some under counter lighting. And remember we talked about that, that's task lighting. How does that look under a counter? It looks like this. It's got like a little triangle on the end. That's that little fluorescent fixture that's hovered under your cabinet to give you a nice task lighting. So we probably want a little light here with little, and one over here. And that is going to give us some nice under counter lighting. But we need a way to turn it on. So don't forget another symbol, right? And so that symbol dots to this fluorescent and that fluorescent. So every time you add a fixture, make sure there is a switch to turn it on. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm doing dishes, I like to have just a nice task lighting above my sink. So I would strongly recommend that you put a little light above the sink. And once again, you'll need a switch right there to turn it on. So this gets a little busy, but it's really important that you have all the components of your space plan already done underneath so you know what you are looking at and what you need lighting for. Now you may even have a third switch here. What do you think that could go to? You know what? I think I would love a beautiful chandelier here. So I can make that go here. Now, let's say I get off the dinner table, but I want to go to the living room. Maybe I turn that dining table off over here. So what does that do? That makes this, once again, a three-way switch. So I think I've covered some good lighting here in the kitchen. I have got my lighting to my little fluorescent lights. I've got my switch here and my lighting to my little down lights, my general lighting in the middle. And I've got that nice dining pendant, a three-way switch. Now let's say I want to dim it. I think I do. I'm going to add a dimmer right here. Okay, so now I can dim it from here and turn it on and off on both ways. So here's a great way to start your lighting. Think of that every time you actually walk into each space. I personally like to see a nice sconce over each of these sinks here, because most of the time we do have some kind of lighting over our sink or above the mirror. And in that case, once again, you want to make sure you have switches that will turn them on. You also probably want one general light in a bathroom, just a simple, and once again, another switch to turn that on. So as you go through this, I want lighting in every room. If you need any inspiration, go into your own home and go see where the lighting is in your own bathroom, how many switches you have. Look at your own kitchen. What are the lighting and what switches control what lights? Once you start to realize the connection, this will all come very easily to you. Now, you also, a lot of times in a living room, you might not have a lot of actually built-in lights. But let's say I want to add a fan here. I love ceiling fans. I would add a ceiling fan perhaps. Use a template. Maybe add another switch here so I can control that. That ceiling fan makes it nice and easy. Now I want to also touch base on that special half-hot outlet. Remember, a half-hot outlet is like this, but half of it is filled black. And remember, when you plug something into this half-hot, you have the opportunity to be able to use a light switch to control that outlet. So in my space here, it would sure be fantastic if this light here, this little lamp right here, if that was plugged into one of my half-hot lighting fixtures right there. So what do I need? I think I would love another switch here, and that switch turns on that half-hot outlet. Now, you also may want one of those in your bedroom. I know that we have one in my bedroom, and so I have a switch here maybe, and I dot that to that half-hot. So it's similar to dotting it to a light fixture, or you're dotting it to this half-hot outlet. So put a couple in strategic places. Think about your own home. Go into each room and find out which fixture or which outlet is the half-hot. I bet you know, or maybe even didn't even realize that a light switch controlled a certain fixture. So once you do this, you will start to see a lovely flow and it will make sense to you as you yourself walk through this reflective ceiling plan. Extremely important. And next, as you place things strategically for where the furniture is, this will also help you place the placements. Now, also notice art. Oops, also notice art. We'll talk about that in just 1 second on the second half of this video.